Also, in case you haven't noticed, like, I'm not really good in describing books in which I still yet to read. Ando mga amigo, my name is MJ, and today I'm going to talk about my TBR for the month of September. I'm going to talk first about my physical TBR, which is here, and I'm also going to talk about my ebook TBR as well as my audiobook TBR, which is not a lot really. So yeah, without further ado, let's start this video. Personally, I really don't know why I'm making this video in the first place because I do know that if I'm going to make this video, I will not be able to follow through all of the books in this video, but I just want to make myself accountable for the month of September. So the very first book in my physical TBR pile is I Love You Since 1892 by Binibining Mia. So I have been planning to make a reread for this series for quite a long time now, ever since I have read this last year, because I just love this series so much because it's such a really good historical like romance book, and I just want to make a reread, and I think the time is now. And in case you didn't know, I Love You Since 1892 is about a girl who went back in time and then she fell in love with a guy and a lot of shit has went down. And yeah, that's basically it. Because I can't really like say what happened in this book because it's quite a long time ever since I've read that, but I can remember crying because a lot of bad stuff has happened with this book and with this series. Second book in my TBR pile is a book which I have been meaning to read for quite a long time, and it is Tablay by Katrina F. Olan. So a lot of my fellow Filipino booktubers have been raving about this book during the pandemic time back in 2020, but I still yet to read this book, and it is actually a science fiction book, and I'm just excited. Do you think like the cover is really pretty? Like I just find it really pretty, and it's also very short. So I think I can read this book in one day, and I think I'm going to make a reading vlog for this. And also, in case you haven't noticed, like I'm not really good in describing books in which I still yet to read. The third book in my physical TBR pile is actually a book which I have already started, and it is the second book in the Hunger Games series, which is Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. And I'm actually like, see the bookmark here? Like I put my bookmark like this because I just want to know like which line like I need to like read again, basically. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this book because I just love this series, and rereading this book like made me realize a lot of things. The next book, of course, is the third book in the Hunger Games series, and it is Mockingjay. I just love this edition, don't you think? Like the design is so intricate and lovely. The next book in my physical TBR pile is Atonement by Ian McEwan. I have watched the movie for this, and as an author, I really love Ian McEwan. I have read like The Children Act by this author, and I find it really fascinating because it's something that I was not able to like read in books basically. I'm just really excited to read this book. Also, this has been in my shelf for quite a long time, and I think it's time to read this book. Next book in my physical TBR pile is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I mean, like, does this need like any explanation as to why I want to read this book? Because this book is great. It's great. This book is actually an installment. It is actually a second book of the Haverstone family series made by J.D. Ruiz, and it is The Lady Who Stayed. I'm really excited to read this book because I love the first book of the series, and in case you didn't know, this series is actually a historical romance series, and I am really excited to read this because it is made by a Filipino author. And in case you didn't know, J.D. Ruiz is one of my favorite Filipino authors of all time. So I'm also planning to reread the Percy Jackson series through audiobook. I actually listened about 80% already of the audiobook. So yeah, I'm really close to finish the audiobook for the Percy Jackson, and then I'm also planning to reread the second book for the Percy Jackson series, which is The Sea of Monsters, because I just wanted to have like a reread for that series because I find the series to be really great. And also for my ebook TBR, I'm also planning to read or reread Samantha Parker's To-Do List by Ruby Granger because it's one of my favorite books of all time as well. So yeah, that's basically it for my TBR, and I do know that it's not really informative. So if you have the same TBR pile as mine, or if you have read some books from my TBR pile, please let me know your thoughts down below and let's discuss. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.
mile in fog patches and showers early Friday, but improving to greater than 6 miles on Friday morning.
Stars shining bright.